Hey, it's me, Yoga with TG, and I work to help busy career and family focused individuals just like you to put themselves back into their own schedules. I hope you hang out with me, work with me, yoga with me, and you will feel better than you have in years and have a newfound strength, both physically and mentally. And today I wanted to talk about this idea of yogaing safely. It's the new year, and oftentimes we set New Year's resolutions that include something related to fitness or exercise or wellness. And I think that's great. I hope that yoga is on your list of New Year's resolutions. But I also want to make sure that you feel like you can pursue yoga safely, especially if it's something new that you're considering yoga, you want to maybe start yoga, how you can do that safely. So one of my main focuses is I really love introducing people to yoga. It has changed my life and was a surprise. I didn't expect to become a yoga teacher. I didn't expect yoga to be what it has become for me. And so I love the opportunity to introduce this practice to others and to help them see if it could be a really good fit for them as well, if it could be that life-changing practice for them as well. But I have seen too frequently people getting, hurting themselves. Like they start a YouTube video that's, beyond their scope, and they don't know that it is. And they get going and they think that they need to try and do everything that the instructor is cueing, and they try to force their body into these poses, and their body is simply not ready. And I think that's natural, right? We're excited, we want to push ourselves, we want to see those gains, but that's not what we want to do in yoga. And we want to grow into that practice, and that yoga is meant to be nourishing, not punishing. Sadly, too, there are instances where we end up in a class with an instructor who's not properly or adequately trained, or isn't accustomed to or ready to teach to beginners. They're not able to provide variations, modifications, assistance to a true beginner. And all of that can be really detrimental. That if you go to a class and end up feeling worse, feel like you've hurt yourself, you try a yoga video and then you feel hurt or you harm yourself, you're not going to want to come back. And that's why it's really important that if you're going to start yoga, that you really try to start as safely as possible and understand, some of the tenets of yoga, or that you start with an instructor who prioritizes working with true beginners. That if you go into a class and it's your first time taking that class, that instructor should immediately, right, be interested in meeting you, finding out your experience with yoga. And if they don't immediately start to check in with what your experience with yoga is, to ask if there's any concerns that you have or limitations that you have, injuries, if they're not able to help you provide options or ideas, if in class they're not cueing additional variations for you, those are red flags. So you really want to work to start yoga with where you and your body is at this moment, to find someone that you trust and that has the background, the training, the credentials to help you progress with your practice in a safe manner, who can provide you with alternatives, with modifications, variations as you need them, and who can help sort of guide you into meeting your yoga goals, but starting with where you are at. There is no reason you should be trying to touch your foot to your head the first day of practice, right? Those types of things. So that's really one of the things I want is, I totally want you to do yoga. I want you to pursue yoga, but I also know that you will continue with yoga if it's actually a nourishing practice, if you are feeling better, and you should feel better after yoga. It should not cause pain and that type of thing. So I have a list of tips in addition to what we've talked about here that can help you if you're going to go into a studio class, things to think about. Obviously, I would love to work with you as well, but these tips work no matter where you're at, wherever you go. And so you can grab this free download of tips for starting and staying safe with your yoga practice at bit.ly/safe yoga, so that you can be excited about those New Year's resolutions, be excited about those yoga goals that you have, but also pursue them safely and begin that flirting with this yoga practice in a way that's going to be most beneficial for you. So let me know if there's any questions I can answer as you start this practice. If you run into anything, I'm always happy to talk all things yoga and continue working with you as we go.